So, you might have been very tired because you had a big travel, right?
Yes, it's been a rough little few days, between travel and show and no rest in between. So
yes, was our gratitude that
finally
you
got
came
a
to us.
little, yeah, man.
What is your first impression about Kerala the moment you landed here?
Well, the moment I landed here, well, actually flying over, it reminded me somewhat of home, just the tropical. Yeah, there's a very tropical climate. You know what I mean? And then landing and feel the warmth of the country, but not only that, the warmth of the people reminds me of home. The welcome that I received in the airport was very heartwarming, and very refreshing, because you don't get that kind of reception everywhere.
You felt home?
I felt at home.
Okay. Did you happen to hear any of our music while traveling from the airport to the hotel in that car?
Yeah.
Did you happen to hear any music of ours?
Yeah, the driver played, the driver was playing some music, but it was mostly instrumental.
Okay.
Yeah, there wasn't no words, it was just, the instrumental. But I've heard, Indian music before. I'm not familiar with the artist, but, I have a lot of Indian friends in Jamaica as well. And so I'm familiar with the sounds and the tunes of the music, and also we have in Jamaica sometimes especially in the dance hall and the dance section, we have I don't want to say it, we have adapted some of the sounds and implemented in what we're doing as well.
Inspiration,
so,
right?
Inspirational,
Okay.
Yes,
You were a footballer, you played basketball, you were an avid sports person. Was it the genes in you that turned on to music?
I think so, because, it's funny, for me growing up as a young lad, music wasn't my focus. My first love and my first passion is actually football. And music was something that just, I think it started for me like it does for everyone in the shower. So the majority of singing I did was in the shower. And then after that, my musical career started just by faith. For me, it was something that was ordained, because it was something that I was at a friend's house. Quick story: I was at a friend's house and he had a sound system. And he was going out to play the night, and he said to me, give me a dub plate, which is a special, so something special for his sound. And I said, I don't sing. I started just playing around a little bit on the mic, and at the same time, ironically, a producer who did some work with my father in the previous times walked in at the same time and said, you have a nice tone. You should, maybe come to the studio ever so often and see what happens. And I started to visit him only on a Saturday, maybe for 1 or 2 hours on a Saturday. Still just not with the intention that, but more like, all right, let me see where this is going to lead to. And one of the very first songs I wrote as a kid, as a young man, was a song called Dear Dad. Oh. And after writing Dear Dad and having them, release that song and playing it, and just the reaction that I received from the people, I realized that, okay, there is power in the music, and the message is in the music. There's a very, for me, it's always been the strongest way to relay a message is through music, because not everyone will take the time to stand up to listen to a speaker speak, but everyone listens to music at some point or the other.
Exactly.
And so we find that there is power in the music, and from that moment on, my life started to take a change, and started to focus more on music now, which I never left football behind.
So you left football?
No, I still play. I still play. Because of football now I have 2 bad knees, so thanks to football.
Your father is a legend. He was a big legend. Was that an added responsibility on your shoulder when you performed? No.
I've never looked at it that way. I know that we're a part of a great legacy, and what's always been important to me was just to make sure that I carry on that legacy to the best of my ability. Okay. So it's important that I continue the message in the music. Now, I'm born in Jamaica, raised in the United States, so sometimes I find that my upbringing, as far as what influenced me, was not only reggae now. So reggae was the root. But, you know, living in America, I was exposed to rock and roll, to hip hop. I'm also living in Miami, so I was exposed to the whole Latin market as well. And for me, being a student and a lover of music, it just came natural to me to try to fuse, you know, everything that I've heard, everything that I gravitate to, and, you know, use that to continue the legacy.
Okay. So, what kind of message do you try to convey through your music?
Well, the message remains the same. You know, the message is one love, one heart, one destiny. You know, and it will always be stand up and fight for your rights. You know, because at the end of the day, it's our rights. And if we don't fight for it, no one is just going to give it to us.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? So we have to fight for what we believe in. You know? Yeah.
So you're contented with what you are doing right now, or do you want to do more?
You know, I'm never content. You know what I mean? I always want to do more, you know, because there's so much more that needs to be done. So for me, it's always trying to continue to do as much as possible. Recently we have opened a community center in my hometown in Falmouth, and where we are a football-driven community. But, you know, I also implement like health programs, computer programs. We're teaching the children farming. We're teaching the children just how to live, you know, not just by the economy, through the economy, but also through, you know, your social standing, how to deal and operate with people. So for me, it's always, you know, it's important to me to try to help the ones that I can help along the way, you know. So I'm never content, you know. I'm always looking for something else to do. Yeah.
So do you believe that music brings equality, whomever it is?
Absolutely. Music is that, you know, for me, it's the greatest vessel to spread that word of love. You know what I mean? And music, you know, as I said, you know, the music is so interesting that a lot of people, including myself, you know, when you hear a song that moves you, you don't necessarily have to know the words of what's being said, but you can feel it because that resonates in your heart and in your soul. You know what I mean? So I've met so many people who don't speak English but loves my father music so very much, and I've been many places where I don't understand the language, but the music moves me. You know, I don't know what they're saying, but the words of what it is, that melody, it still gets to me. You know what I mean? So music is that one thing that I think can really use to unify us all.
Reggae and ska came from the calypso. How did that happen?
Or that ska?
Ska.
Well, I don't know. We'd have to go back into the music, but we know that ska was. I know that reggae came from the ska. Cause the ska was the and reggae was just so it's the same formula, just on a different tempo.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So first was for the dance, right? Ska was for the dance, faster dance.
Yeah.
Okay. Reggae, in the initial time, the reggae was about love, about family, about the surroundings. Then it changed to messages, giving messages. How did it change, reggae?
Well, the reggae is still the same, you know. The reggae music, the reggae music is here to help to spread that message of love, you know, as I say, of love, unity, and of, you see, reggae music was created by the rebellious.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, and the lower class. Reggae music came out of the lower class people who was just trying to find a way, and that was their way also to speak to the system, to speak to the powers that be, the politicians, to let them know, you know, where we are, what we stand for, and what we are about. You know, and as I said, that became the main ingredient I know to spread the music, because you listen to someone speak, after the first 10, 15 minutes, you're bored.
Yeah, exactly.
But if you can move something to move and still get the message, then, you know, that was the whole, you know, build-up of what reggae music became to us as a people. Now, some people mistake dancehall for reggae music.
Yeah.
It's two different genres.
Okay.
You know, dancehall is for the dancehall, and you know, sometimes the dancehall can speak of very violent stuff. You know what I mean? The dancehall a lot of times speaks of guns, and just like the hip hop, you know, per se. But the reggae music, when you hear a reggae artist, it's always been consistent of love, unity, harmony, and standing up for what you believe in.
You were born in Jamaica and brought up in Miami, right?
Yeah.
What is heaven to you, Jamaica or Miami?
Oh, Jamaica, absolutely. Jamaica is home. Jamaica is the root for me of where it begins. I tell people all the time that it's weird, and I don't know if other people, other Jamaicans, and maybe you, even when you leave and you come back to your hometown, but for me, when I land in Jamaica, I feel as though the earth speaks to me. I feel as though once I get off the plane and I touch ground, I'm connected. I'm connected to that vibration, I'm connected to the people, and I'm connected to the land. And I have that feeling nowhere else in the world. I've been beautiful places, and of course I love being, there's so many beautiful places that I've been to that I enjoy, but there's no place like home, as the saying goes.
You're famous. There are a lot of people following you. How do you keep yourself balanced?
I think that's just how I keep myself balanced. It's just, I don't even know how to explain it. It's just who I am. I can't be no one else. I only can be me. And for me, I'm coming from a great legacy, but from very humble beginnings.
Okay.
So I know what it is.
Okay.
To sleep in a one-bedroom house with seven other cousins, aunties, and nephews and uncles all under one roof. So I know what it is also to wake up and you have to walk maybe a good 100 yards to a pit toilet out in the back in the country where there's no light. You know what I mean? So I'm from very humble beginnings, from a great legacy, but from very humble beginnings. So I know the feeling. So for me, that's why it's so important for me to go back to these communities and try to help these kids see a difference in life. And I think it's my beginnings that allowed me to stay grounded. Maybe if I was born in a palace, then I would be a totally different person, but I wasn't. So
this is your first visit to India, right?
Yes.
Have Indian music inspired you in making your music?
Yeah, music in general inspire me. As I say, in Jamaica, a lot of time we pull from these different genres of music, from these different cultures, and fuse that. But I'm inspired by music in general. I'm a student of music, I'm a fan of music, and I'm a lover of music.
I had just two more questions to you. The first thing is, your father said money doesn't make life, right?
Right.
Have you experienced that?
Well, absolutely. Money doesn't make life. There's a saying we have in Jamaica, I don't know if it's here too, but it says a good friend is worth more than pocket change.
What then?
A good friend is worth more than the money in your pocket.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? And so, we've always just live by that, because I know what it is not to have money. Money sometimes make things a little easier, but sometimes it makes it harder as well.
Exactly, yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just how you balance yourself in life, It's up to you to know. For me, it's important to know the Almighty, and to know where we're coming from. And, once we know that, then we're able to balance out everything else.
It's an absolute pleasure talking to you, sir.
Pleasure was all mine.
Thank you.
Thank you.